Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim wa bihi nasta'een innahu khayrun nasirin wa mu'een. Previously we spoke about the history of lamentation before Islam and said it is as old as humankind himself, since the very first person who is dhakir for Abu Abdullah is Jibreel, and the very first person who actually wept and cried for Abu Abdullah is Adam Abul Bashar alayhi salam. So he took the initiative and reminded as the first person who cried for Abu Abdullah in history. But this practice continued throughout history, and the other prophets of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has also resorted to Hussain and mourned for him in many different situations, difficulties, and special occasions. Even the prophets who hold the title of Ulul Azm, like Nuh, Isa, Ibrahim, Musa, and even the Prophet of Islam, Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. So, if we start with the history of Islam, we can say that the very first person who actually cried for Abu Abdullah is the noble Prophet of Islam, Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. We have different narrations and hadiths from Prophet of Islam about lamentation and mourning for Hussain alayhi salam. There is a narration from Imam al-Rida alayhi salam that he narrates from his fathers all the way to Imam al-Sajjad alayhi salam that he says, Asma bint Umays told me that I had the honor to be the midwife for Hussain alayhi salam. And when Hussain alayhi salam was born, I wrapped him in a white cloth and gave him to Rasulullah. Rasulullah recited adhan in his right ear and iqamah in his left ear, then put him on his lap. And at this moment, I saw Rasulullah crying and teardrops start to fall on his cheek. I said, O Rasulullah, may parents be ransomed to you. Why are you crying? The baby is just born, and it's not a good omen to cry at this moment. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, Ya Asma, taqtuluhu fi'atun baghiyah, La yanalahumullah shafa'ati. Ya Asma, a group, an oppressive group and faction from my own ummah will kill this beloved son of mine. May Allah never grant them my intercession. On the other hadith, al-Faz bint al-Harith says, I was given the responsibility to be Hussein's nurse by Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And at the first time after I was the honor to see Rasulullah, I gave the baby to him and put him on his lap. And suddenly I saw Rasulullah crying and weeping. And I said, Ya Rasulullah, why are you crying? What is happening to you? Because I was very sad after seeing Rasulullah crying. Rasulullah said, Atani Jibreel, فَأَخْبِرْنِي أَنَّ أُمَّتِي سَتَقْتُلُ إِبْنِي هَذَا. Jibreel came and told me that my own ummah will murder this beloved son of mine. In other hadith, which can be found in Sunni sources as well, just like the other narrations that I told you now, Mu'adh ibn Jabal says that we were gathering in a place that we suddenly saw Rasulullah coming to us, and his face was pale. He said a few things to us, and after that said, Yazid, la yubarakullah fi Yazid. Yazid, may never Allah bless him. And he started to weep and said, I have been given the news of my grandson's martyrdom, and I was given the soil of his killing ground, and I was made aware of the identity of his killer and murderer. You see, all of these narrations point to this fact that lamentation and iqamatul aza goes way back to the beginning of Islam, and the first person who is actually hujjah for us, Rasulullah, has wept for Hussain and made it public for all companions to know that Hussain was martyred by a pbuh baghiyah, a faction, an oppressive faction, that they are unjust. So whoever killed him will be damned by Rasulullah and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala himself. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa